And here is the Writer's Almanac for Thursday, October the 7th, 2021. It's the birthday of the poet Diane Ackerman, born Waukegan, Illinois, 1948, who blends science and literary art. Her first book of poems entirely about astronomy, called The Planets, a cosmic pastoral, best known for her book A Natural History of the Senses, came out in the 90s. She published a memoir called 100 Words for Love about her husband, a novelist, Paul West, who in 2005 suffered a stroke and suffered immense damage to the key language areas of his brain. He'd had a huge vocabulary, and he was reduced to a single syllable, mem. Took him years to recover the ability to speak. Diane Ackerman, who wrote, "It began in mystery and it will end in mystery, but what a savage and beautiful country lies in between." And it was on this day in San Francisco, 1955, Allen Ginsberg read his poem Howl at the Six Gallery, a reading to promote the art gallery as organized by the poet Kenneth Rexroth. Gary Snyder was there and Jack Kerouac. Ginsberg was the second to the last to read. He started at about 11 o'clock at night. He was 29 years old. He'd never taken part in a poetry reading before. Started off very quietly, but as he read, he found his rhythm, took a deep breath before each of the long lines in the poem, and then said each line in one breath. Read the whole thing, and the audience went wild. Here's a poem for today by Kathleen Flanagan, entitled Gil's Story. Gil tells you his story in the company truck on your first job under his wing. He cuts the engine and pulls to the shoulder, which is alarming. He's a big man who talks rough all day to drillers, but you know he's kind. Everybody in the office says so. Gil's a sweetheart, they say, without elaboration. He rolls to a stop and waits, which prepares you, I think. It wipes the fake smile off your face. He clears his throat. Then it streams like a steady well, that lazy drive home from vacation, his wife napping in the camper before she and their daughter switch, his careful introduction of the boy who has drifted an entire lifetime into their oncoming lane. It's beautiful, really, the way they crash into the boy's car, how it parts the boy's curtain of long blonde hair, and death anoints him with a dot of blood on his forehead. A single hubcap bounds like a tin deer across the highway. Gil's frantic wife pries the camper open to find their dead girl, whose eyes are closed as though she's dozing through a horror movie. Then silence. Gil turns expectantly to you. As you sit speechless, he'll nod at whatever sound or breath escapes you. He starts the truck with a roar, and you're driving again to the field. All afternoon, he babies you with the pipes, the pump, and the rig. And when you return, the whole office comes out to greet you, touching your shoulder, saying your name. Gil's Story, a poem by Kathleen Flanagan. That's the Writer's Almanac for Thursday, October the 7th, funded by donations from listeners like you, now available on PRX for distribution by your local radio station. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.